Oh, shit.
Here
Oh,
we go again.
There goes that money. Where that money go?
And we are officially demonetized. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Mechanism, episode 25. I am your host, Tim, the one and only child of Mecca. We're going to have some fun here tonight. Yes. So without any further ado, let's get the ball rolling, shall we? Let's go around here and let's meet everybody. Let's start up in NYC up there with Mr. Brian. He's been away for a little bit. Where you been?
Hi, everybody. Oh, I've been around the world. Not exactly. I've been part of the world and then back. I was on a little bit of vacation. I tried to get out of the city for a little while, once a year at least. And I tried to stream. I was talking with some people on the backstage, which was actually pretty cool to be able to be like in the middle of the ocean on your balcony and like talking with your friends, like live stream style, even though it was like super chunky. It was my old phone. I got a new phone. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I'm back. Hey. And I've been working nonstop on this model. If you follow me on IG, there it is over there. IG,
Somewhere there you go.
Bro Builder. And also on Twitter when I'm not soft banned. You can watch my model progress because I post most of the stuff there. Actually, I post more secret stuff on Twitter than I post on Instagram. It's kind of like a dish. So anyone that's watching now or watching this in the future, there's the in. But yeah, so I've been working on this kit. We're like a couple of days away, or like it's actually due tomorrow. What current? So yeah, I'm getting it to a stage where I can take like some really good photos. I got a new backdrop. So got these great lights that I got by Tim's Amazon thing, which is you guys check that out. If you guys haven't checked that out, so it's just been like work. I'm looking forward to being done and taking a break for like a little while before I like get back into it again. But that's what's kind of going on with me. I can show you some of the stuff that I'm working on right now if you'd like, or we can jump back. Let me know how it's going, Tim. Tell me what you want to do.
Let's do it.
You want to see it now? All right, cool.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Do it now.
Okay, let's go. Oh, wrong camera.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Shit.
oh,
shit.
I feel that's going to be the theme of the night.
Yeah, I like that.
So I'm working on this thing, which is so big.
Oh, look at that. That's
That it doesn't really fit in the camera. Maybe I should switch to the other camera and turn the damn thing around. Here we go.
Yeah, angle it so that we can see the front of this sucker.
Hang on, guys. Here you go.
Shit.
All right.
Stand by for Titanfall.
Right.
There you go.
Like, literally, you're looking up at it, man. This is cool.
Man, that is sick.
That is super sick.
Jesus.
That's extra sick, dude.
Bonus points to crotch down.
Yeah, right. That's Luca. That's all Luca. You know, I'm just trying to make it as nice as I can. So,
Brian, how did that clear coat go?
I haven't done it yet. I'm still working on chipping. That's going to come down. I'll probably end up doing that late tonight and annoy my neighbors with my air compressor running like early in the morning. And then tomorrow I'll go into it and I'll do some oil work on the metallic chassis parts to try and make those pop as best I can. I'll maybe add a couple accent decals, but that's probably about as far as I'm going to go before I go into doing like photographing and stuff like that. So I don't want to get too deep into it, but after I do photographing for the competition, then I'll pull it back out. I'll go into it further with more decals, oil rendering, and then I'm going to go into what I'm doing for the diorama that's coming around for IPMS.
Oh yeah.
Finishing.
I love the camouflage on that.
Yeah. That's a lot of work right there, man.
Yes, sir.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. A lot of people don't get to see it from like all these angles that I've been staring at it for months.
They never will, man.
No, it's true. No, I mean, if you come through Wayne, New Jersey, IPMS, and you'll be able to get a good look at it. I'm thinking about maybe slapping a turntable underneath the diode. The diode is going to be pretty simple. It's not going to be too crazy because the kit is so out of control.
2 turntables and a microphone. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Yeah, I made these antennas the other day because it doesn't really have any like any antenna, so I added these antenna and then chromed those guys out, and then made I set this down here. All right, and then made a couple more. I made this antenna here, which is not very well in focus, as per usual for me. There you go.
Yeah, and they fit the motif so well, man.
Yeah, this is actually like a clone. The ones that I got with the kit were because of the nature of the casting setup that happened. Sorry for the blurry, shaky video, guys.
I think you scratch built them.
Take a look at that crotch gun. The nature of the casting that went down that time, there was like issues, and so they were the molds were, or the casts that I got were subpar, and it was just like unusable. So I made them scratch build them out and like super size, so they're at least 100% bigger than they were before. And then I added like crazy antenna aspects. So this I shared this with some of the squad groups, but this guy plugged in the back of this, stick that really long, nice. And dimension of depth to the model as well, which is kind of like a chunky kit. And then I still have to do the gun, so I'm going to be painting. That's also on the list.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, seriously.
That's been
I can't wait to see this at MosquitoCon. I'm telling you right now.
Oh yeah.
Dude. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, are you bringing the fleet at MosquitoCon?
Yeah, Flea's coming too.
Oh my god, man! Just seeing this thing and the flea side by side.
Yeah.
It's wild.
And I'm gonna bring the Marasite too. I'm gonna do make up a weapon on that, and then make a little simple base and add a little bit of action to that too. Just for
very
fun.
dope.
Dude, Brian's going hard on MosquitoCon, dude.
Hard. These are all last year, so it's like I'm just doing kind of like sprucing up a little bit, like lipsticking the pigs, you know.
I don't even want to bring anything.
He's gonna catch a technical foul here, going hard in the paint like this. I'm telling you, crazy.
He's good right now.
I'm just having fun and doing my best and trying to talk to people about it if they want to know. So don't be afraid to ask me questions. If you guys want to ask me questions, please ask me questions because I love to answer them. I like talking. Yeah, and I'm really not very drunk yet tonight. So yeah,
we'll get there.
There's still time.
There's always time.
And I'm glad to be back. It was good to be away. I like the break, but I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad to be here with you guys.
Yeah, welcome back.
Welcome to Mechanism.
Good stuff, dude. Good stuff. All right, let's stay up in New York. Let's go to our boy here, the Mr. Clippin' Virus.
The virus has hit New York. There's no alarm. It's here.
Yeah. Why?
It's gonna spread worldwide. Once it hits New York, it's over.
It's done.
It's finished. We're finished. No more.
Cancel Christmas.
I hope you guys got go bags and shit. We gotta get out of here. Hey, Flippin' Nub, Julio, Big Chooch. I'm working on this resin kit, and I'm hand painting a lot because I don't want to mask things. But it's coming out really well.
You're breaking my heart, Julio.
Yeah, I'm breaking my own heart. I really am. I figured a nice clear coat, some weathering, some oil and shit. It'll be all right.
All right, man. You do you, boo boo.
Making a foot,
Hell yeah.
What we do? Nice thin coat. That's how you hand brush. I don't know. You guys don't hand brush? I know you hand brush.
I everything. Yeah, I do it all.
Yeah, hand brush is the best.
I sing and I dance.
Juggle.
You go both ways.
I can a little bit, not for very long, but I can juggle.
I got plates on stick.
I can pat my head and rub my belly at the same time.
I get you gum. I get you lots of gum. I actually got a decent amount of it hand painted. So you can see some of that.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, it looks good. I've seen the pictures on Instagram. They look amazing.
Yeah, buddy. It's coming out real well. I'm actually enjoying the hand painting. I know using an airbrush is phenomenal, and we all just like this. But hand painting, you get in a zone, and you're with the paint, You groove.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I like grooving. Get that liquid groove in. But other than that, I ain't doing nothing. I'm gonna be painting for the rest of the night. Be laughing at you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much. Very
Nice.
boring for me. There's
Yeah,
nobody in the background. Like, what's going on tonight?
right.
All alone, man. What the
Yeah,
hell?
I'm sitting here by myself.
It's a quiet night.
Yeah, keeping me company, guys. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Good stuff.
Appreciate it.
Good stuff. All right. Let's keep the New York trend going. And obviously the virus trend going here.
Oh, so he's
Jesus.
got that virus,
Wow.
so I got to stay away from him.
Love it. Me too. I love it.
Wow. And we have Mr. Hulonius, Julio 2, the build meat connoisseur.
Sure.
What's going on?
Trying. Not much, guys. Just here, not doing anything fancy. I actually have to snap build a kit, and
Oh,
if you guys know me, I absolutely don't enjoy snapping something when I have
Not
to
at
do
all.
it.
Always been.
If I want to, it's an entirely different story. So this night is just going to be this guy right here, MG
Oh,
Barbatos.
Hey, I like that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
tough on you.
and not much else going on outside of planning these build meets and stuff like that.
You mean
Hell
skilling
yeah.
them out? Skilling out the buildings.
Scaling them out.
You got the meat grilled.
Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the neck, but to set up, put together. But once it gets rolling on, man, it's so good.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
tell all the work you put in, and I truly appreciate it, though.
Hey, why don't you tell us all about it, man?
Thank
What
you.
happened? Like how
Yeah.
the day went, stuff like that.
I mean, so it's typically all right. So sometime in midsummer, I reached out to Kinokuniya, New York. Asked them, hey, look, you guys, do you like rent out a space here on the second floor or something like that? And they said they do. And we would talk more about it. I had to chase these guys for about 4 months.
Yeah, that was a lot
until
of
they
TV.
actually turned around and were like, okay, hey, yeah, now we're ready to deal with you.
Well, you pestered us long enough, so
Yeah. So I had to meet with 2 managers and the actual store manager. And, we all sat down in this little office area, which was literally like one cubicle wall, and that's it. And, we spoke, and I told them, look, this is what I want to do. I don't know if you guys want to get on board with this. And surprisingly, they said yes.
With it.
So, yeah, fast forward about a month or two of chasing them again. We finally got it rolling around in October.
yeah, I was gonna say there was one of these before.
Yeah.
And, that was kind of like a beta testing, quote unquote.
A trial run.
Yeah. So, they hit up Bluefin, got a bunch of those free RXs. We had a bunch of people come in, check it out.
Yeah.
Everybody had a good time. And, they were just like, okay, cool. Like, you want to do this again? And I was like, yeah, but the holidays. So once those passed, come January, set it up again. Same thing. Let's do it like this. Worked out. They were pleased. They said, let's do it again for February. They're pleased. They said, let's do it again for March.
Yeah. I'm
So
with it.
it's gonna be a monthly thing. So it's
That
gonna
is
be
awesome.
once a month, towards the end of the month, always on a Sunday. And just gonna constantly roll these out and try to get something new and exciting for people to do. If not, sit around, build, bullshit a little. You know?
I heard you were out of seating space at this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Every time.
It's not a bad thing, you know.
Every time.
The last event that we did, we didn't run out of seating space very quickly. But there were some people that did want to like hang around and just talk with everybody and chill.
Yeah,
This past
that's
one,
cool.
though, we actually ran out of seating space just before the event started. Like,
Oh damn!
like the event starts at 1, people were rolling in at like 12:50, and then 1 o'clock, everybody's rolling in like, oh, the seats are gone.
I start getting there earlier.
So it's good that a lot of people are showing up, but it's also like kind of bad because I don't like turning people away from something like this.
Yeah.
They want to sit down, they want to enjoy building something, talking to other people that are like-minded, enjoy the hobby too. Maybe make some new friends. And
I mean, so many.
I have to kind of tell them, like, unfortunately, we don't have any seats. And it breaks my heart a little just to see the look of disappointment on their face. So I got to speak with these guys at Kino again and see if they want to try to accommodate more space.
Oh, man. They got
At least enough to get like maybe 1 or 2 more tables. So
Nice.
let's see what happens.
Now, do you charge for that?
Oh no,
Was
no.
that free?
Oh no.
Get out of here,
What?
Tim.
No.
You
What do you mean?
Get
free?
outta
my
here.
build.
Who the hell would
No.
charge for a build meet?
Oh,
organizing.
shit.
Oh shit.
Oh shit! Here we go
Oh
again.
shit.
Show up to my event. I
yeah.
organize that. Julio helps me with that. Manny helps me with that. Jake helps me with that. Anybody who helps me with it's always gonna be free. Always.
Yeah.
how we
Always.
do.
No matter what.
Wait, so you mean you're doing this not because of profit? What?
What profit?
Wait, what?
Profit, really?
Are you okay?
I mean, I heard there's some people out there that do it for that, but
Oh.
that's something for them to chase after. You know.
Imagine charging for a build night. The audacity.
It's just fucked.
Listen, you come to my event, any one of them, it's always gonna be free. I'm not charging you jack shit. Come in, have a good time, leave with a smile on your face.
Shit, you might win something. We have raffles.
Oh,
What?
that's another
What?
thing too.
What?
We have
Raffles?
We have raffles.
You might leave with stuff. Like, and it's free.
More stuff than you showed up with.
What?
Show up with the kit, leave with like 2.
For real, though.
I do that at all our build meets because it's at a hobby shop and I spend too much money every time I go.
I mean, sometimes that's what it is. I dude, if I could literally carry this camera, show you my backlog, it's all stuff that's just gonna go out.
Yeah.
Stuff that I don't mind. I bought it at the time. I'm like, hey, I want this. Now I'm kind of like, never gonna get to it. Why don't I just give it to somebody who's actually gonna want it?
Yeah, I got some of those too. So
Sounds like my entire backlog.
Yeah. But pretty soon the Gunpla is gonna start turning into a mix of armor because I'm starting to get into tanks now.
Yeah, buddy.
Welcome to the club.
Thanks. I actually had a little something I was working on here. Show you guys real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
oh yo, I saw this. This is high. This is
Yeah,
hot.
dude.
That's dope, dude.
But it's pretty fun. And I got a King Tiger all the way at the top of it. I have a shelf literally right next to the camera, and it's all the way on the top shelf. So it's the next thing I'm getting to.
Nice.
What scale is that, by chance?
This one is, I think, 172.
Oh yeah, okay. Cool.
It's a little tiny tank.
Yeah, no, the pictures that you showed on Instagram really didn't show how small it was, which was like awesome until the final like of that set you posted. In my opinion, I feel like you fooled me on the size of that scale of the build until I saw the end of it. I was like, oh damn, that's really small. So good job.
Yeah, next time I'll pose it with a banana for scale.
No, banana. Keep it in your pants. I'm just saying. You did a good job.
I feel
It's
like
really
I'm
small.
a
I've got
total
plenty of
left
time.
turn from the conversation right there. But
Nippers for scale.
Yeah,
There you
I mean, it's a small. I mean, if you look at the pictures, it looks really good. It looks like in scale. Like so, the weathering, the detail, and stuff like that you did was in scale. And so, like, you couldn't. It could have been 172nd, could have been 124. No one could really, in my opinion, I couldn't tell. So maybe I'm.
Thank you.
Hey, listen. It's not about the size of the tank. It's how you use it.
That's how well it's weathered.
Oh boy.
Hey, that's really small.
It's packing a lot of heat.
Oh god.
Oh wow! In the picture, it looks so much bigger. I'm just saying.
He said, oh, hey now. Good stuff.
We're
All
chill.
right, Julio, man, keep up the build night thing, man, because that's awesome, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Trying.
Hell yeah.
Trying.
All
Doing
right.
this for 7 years. Trying.
Definitely, man. It looked like people enjoyed it, so that's the main thing, right? That's the main thing. Good stuff.
Thank
All
you.
right, let's go. Excuse me. Let's go over to our boy Chris Pabs.
hello.
What are you working on?
What's destroying you?
Thing. So I'm currently working on a SD Sinanju / Neozeon for this team
Why would you
SD
work
build
on
that
Wait,
I'm doing.
what is that? What build?
Team SD build. I have a
What is
partner
that?
for it, but
What is that?
shit right
What
now.
is
So-
that?
It's a so basically we're supposed to partner off with builders all over the world, and we create what was the theme again? Rivals, right? That was
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
yeah. So we're doing
Ah.
Rivals. So I'm doing the Neozeon / Sinanju, and my partner, who's not doing anything right now, is he's doing the full armor unicorn. Someday, somehow, I don't know, man.
I still need to get the kits, man. I'm
Yo,
like,
looks like your man's lost
I'm
his
dying
pants
over
there.
here. I'm
I
waiting.
mean, we know you for being a fast builder, so
Hmm.
I think we'll be fine.
It's true. Yo, Tim is the speediest. They call
Right.
him Mr. Expedition.
So
Hey,
right
man.
now, I am trying to retrofit the SD Sinanju with a CS frame, so you can see like the legs right there.
Yeah.
Yo, it needs leg day bad.
It really does, man.
That's
Look at this
hilarious
thing.
looking.
That's some chicken legs right there.
Yo, just leave it just like that. I dare you.
That's all it's gonna be. Like
Oh.
once you remove the front of the Neozeon, you'll just see these legs, and you'll know
Right.
we've made it.
Oh my god,
I love it.
that is great.
So yeah, right now I've got like the SD Nightingale on the arms right there, which I plan on if I can find it. So here's like the regular Sinanju arms. I'm cutting out the sleeves, and I'll place these at the bottom. I'm not even in frame. At the bottom right there. So that's stuff to figure out. I'm also currently trying to detail like the main Sinanju itself. You've seen all the scribe lines, a bunch of polystyrene layering. So that's probably what I'm going to do tonight. And that is currently it. Like apart from all of the other stuff I work on every single day that you guys have seen every time I do the show. So currently that's all I'm doing.
Yo,
Nice.
Chris. So I have that Xeon as well,
Mhm.
and the back arms, the auxiliary arms, are hella loose. Yours look like they're super tight. How did you do anything to that, or
I did absolutely nothing to them.
wow, I must have fucked mine up then. There it
Like
is.
I don't know. Like they look fine. They're not like wiggly. That's wiggly. That's
I have like one or two. Like the outside ones are like really bad. Like the top ones are good, but the ones on the outermost are like.
I'm not
Not
sure. I mean, I did get this from Tim. So I'm not sure if he did anything to it. So
I just snapped it. That's all I did.
Okay, cool. Right on. I dig it.
yeah. So.
Yeah, I know. I think I might have like overworked the seams on stuff. So
Mm.
because there's no polycaps within those joints from the sub arms to the back or whatever. It's just like a SD kit. So
Man, never overwork the seams.
Neozeon.
Neozeon. But yeah, that's
Semen. What?
Neozeon. That's all I'm working on. I'm not doing anything else tonight for now. I'm taking a break from the resin and stuff.
Hey.
I need to clean up a little bit. All the same stuff. I did start a new resin project a couple of days ago, but I'm not really ready
and
to
you're
show
like,
that
I'm
off
not
yet.
doing resin, but then I just started one.
Well, I'm not doing one. I'm not doing it right now. Is what I'm saying.
I'll do it tomorrow.
I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it in a few hours time.
Oh,
Mom.
you're talking like now, like yeah, like no, I'm
At
not
this-
smoking.
at
I
this
don't
very-
smoke. I'm not smoking
Yeah,
now.
at this very
I'm gonna
present
smoke
moment
an
in
hour,
time.
but-
Yeah, at this very present moment in time, I am not working on anything resin. Who knows what happens in about 60 seconds from now? But we'll figure that out when we get there.
I can stop building resin whenever I want to. Honest.
Well, I swear to God, I don't have like a shelf full of it. No, I don't. It's not. That's not true. That's not.
Chris
real.
will end up in resin rehab.
You don't know
soon,
me.
watch. Yeah.
Y'all got some more of that resin?
I have so many things, man. I don't know what to do with half of them.
I
I'm
learned
letting
it
up.
from watching you. Jesus.
But yep, that's me currently. So
Awesome.
we'll see where we get tonight, and then I'll let you guys know.
Good stuff. Good stuff, man.
Some good stuff. Some of it, yeah.
All right. So last but not least, look at this guy, man.
Who that?
A stranger from a distant land. James, what's going on, dude?
It has been a while. It's good to be back. It's been, yes, I can't remember the last time I was on. I've just been very unenthused lately.
I think the last time you were on, it was just before GBWC.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it was
what
just
I
before.
swear I was on
think it was
after
like the day before or something like that.
I swear I've been on since
I don't
then.
know.
I don't know.
Either like right after or just before.
Yeah, it was
Well,
like it was like
either
middle
way.
of last year, I think. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been very unenthused since then. I haven't really built anything, to be honest.
Right.
So, well, now I'm back working on another GWC build, I guess. I mean, I'll start streaming again.
There we go.
He's
You
back.
guys
so-
fucking around with that 3D printer, right?
What's that, mate?
You're messing around with that 3D printer, right?
That I have. I've got a couple of those, so it's
Yeah.
been entertaining. But yeah, I figured I'd actually build something again because our WC is fast coming up, and once again, I've not really started. So I'm actually entering a master grade for once.
What?
Oh,
Look at
he's
this guy.
scaling it up.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I have the 2.0 goof. I'm not really going to do much to it because I really can't be staffed. I might scribe some lines, maybe some plating. We'll see.
Dude,
Right.
turn it
I'll
into
start
a
small.
flight type.
Turned it into a
No.
Flight type. Turn it into a
Flight
flight type. Do it.
Flight type.
Yeah.
No. I think I'm keeping it somewhat. So you may have seen the building I've been working on. So this is a 1:100 scale
yes.
structure, and this is the bridge I am currently working on. So this is a
building.
So yeah, just a overpass road bridge. So my idea for this year is, so I'll have this building like so. The bridge is going to be over the top, like that. Old mate here is going to be running through this section here because I'm currently working on this building, which will go here, and then off the bridge will be, I picked up a 1:100 scale truck the other day.
Yeah.
I was a little bit worried on the size of it, but I sort of measured it and it is pretty close to 1:100. Well, if you go, there's like figure, it's fairly within scale. So, but I'm going to have the old truck once I paint this up and whatnot. It'll be like hanging off said bridge or maybe hanging down like that.
Oh, nice.
And then I will have knee-high deep water and the waterfall coming off the bridge, and all this is going to be overgrown and jungle like a post-apocalyptic forest city ruins.
Yo.
So,
Sound dope.
Yeah.
this will be my life for the next few months.
It sounds very dynamic.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
So, a lot of water effects. Yeah, we'll see how we go. So I just got to get back into it and start just getting the basics of the structure down so I can work out the whole thing before I start working on this guy.
Nice.
But yeah, like, so at the moment, like,
God,
I haven't done any of the interior. So I've just got to start doing all the interior fit outs, start making couches and TVs and
Oh, that's
all
great.
the fun stuff. I mean, you're not going to see most of it because it's going to be like covered in vines and grasses and shit. But you can't not do it if you get that far.
Oh, absolutely.
I would love to see like a flickering TV somewhere in that building. You know what I mean? Like a tiny ass TV. just a little flicker, just so you can just barely see it outside.
Oh well, the way I see it, it's going to be all overgrown, so there'd be no power.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
And because there's going to be
Makes
like
sense.
knee-high deep water. I'm thinking I might throw some blue LEDs just under the water to see if a glowing blue water looks kind of cool. And if I don't like it, I just don't have to turn them on.
That's true.
Dig it.
So, because that's the one thing I'm pissed off I didn't do on the waterfall diorama from years back. I was originally going to put, on the first build, I had a shit ton of like blue LEDs under the water. And then I like fucked it up. So the second one didn't actually have any lights under the water. But yeah, no, so it's just trying to be motivated to build. So I've just been experimenting with like the AK cement paste and stuff, which the concrete textures, which works really well. Like it gives a really nice concrete texture, and I've used the asphalt a lot, which is also really good. they're just trying to stay motivated. It's hard.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Like your dioramas are always fucking top notch, man. Like
Cheers, man, but
really good, man.
I just want to work on the diorama. To be honest, I couldn't care less about the Gundam. If I didn't have to build that for the competition, I wouldn't.
Right. Oh,
I really like that you up to scale. Like this is gonna look incredible.
Yeah, I think that was to your detriment last year, right? The scale.
Yeah, I think well, that's like 3 years in a row. Kawaguchi's told me to work bigger.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's like, yeah, working a bigger scale. I'm like, no, fine. So I didn't want to.
Kawaguchi's a size queen, so what do you?
He does love the.
I'm with you on that one, man. I love high grades. 144, give me that.
He does love. Oh, he does. He can also tell he's very good at that guessing game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for those who don't know, if you've ever asked at an Aussie GVWC in the after party, Kawaguchi's there on occasion, and there's a guessing game one of the guys likes to play with him where he shows him photos of chicks and asks A, B, C, or D.
Oh, God.
And Kawaguchi guesses right every time.
What?
That's awesome.
Oh, it's always hilarious.
Oh man, good old Gooch.
I reckon it's just funny.
God, man.
But, yes, aside from that, yeah, I don't know. Like, I just gotta stay motivated.
Yeah, it's tough sometimes, man.
Yeah, especially when you build a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I went through a phase of like I was just building non-stop, and then after GWC, I don't think I've really finished anything.
Yeah.
Like, sort of looking of like half finished a lot of stuff. And yeah, I think the big projects take too much out of me. I've got to start working smaller and just smashing out tiny things.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, you know?
Well, that's why I'm trying to motivate myself to just like snap, paint, and build something. Like just build and paint it and do nothing to it, just so I can like get that completion feeling again.
Satisfaction. I need the dopamine, man.
100% yes.
I feel you.
I don't know.
Just snapping something up feels good. I'm like, all right, done. Like just sit here for a while.
Well, that's the thing. I snapped up that goof ages ago, and I sort of sat there, and it was like, that was actually fun. It's been so long since I've snapped something together. I quite enjoyed it.
Snapping's super cool, man.
But yeah, now I'm just back to that thing where I'm like doing a lot of research on buildings. I'm like, oh man, I like that one.
Research.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
So always researching, and then I've been using like AutoCAD a lot to scale build photos of buildings and make patterns and measurements, and yes.
Do you have this book by who's the author? It's right here in my hand. Charles Adams, the Model Design Blueprinting Handbook. This one?
No, I do not.
That's dope.
Get this. It's cheap as fuck. It's like $25. You can get it on Amazon still. Seriously, super good. It is like a super.
What'd it do?
I don't know. It's like a crazy guide to orthoscopic drawing and scale model drawing. So,
Oh wow.
this is like I got this back when I was doing prop making, like 7 or 8 years, whatever. How long ago was I was doing that? But this is a really, really good book. It talks the whole like front section is about how to approach turning something that is like a bigger scale into a smaller scale or vice versa, and doing that through just like I don't know all the techniques outlined in the book. I'm not going to go into it because I'm not gonna. Yeah, that's not what this is about right now. But yeah, we can do it. It's really easy to read. There's a whole huge section in it that talks about CAD and that aspect of design and design works. But it's fucking invaluable. for like
Very
20
good.
bucks or something like that.
That's awesome. No, speaking of books, this is. I will have to definitely look into getting that. But this is one of my favorite books I've picked up recently.
Oh, wait.
So this is by my favorite Japanese artist, Satoshi Yolako.
Yes.
I can't read any of that.
You don't
And
have
so this has got, it's all in Japanese, obviously, but it just goes through his whole build process of making like this building and just detail of plans. And there was like crazy like techniques on things. So like Google Translate works actually surprisingly well, but it just goes through like how he converts, and there's like size references to like
gorgeous.
like all in millimeters and such to build like display cabinets.
superior.
Like here's how you make like air conditioners and like fences and like real. So he's like gone through and done real world measurements, converting it to scale. But yeah, like just building like I don't know if you can see that. Like I've got to get his other books, but yeah, like this one, it's just insane the amount of like detail into like building.
You picked that up in
real world stuff in. Yeah, I bought this while I was over there.
That's awesome.
I happened to be in a shop and it was like brand new, sitting at the front counter, and I'm like, oh, I know that.
Yoink.
So yeah, just grab that. But definitely worth the read if you can get the chance. A lot of cool information for people like me who like building things smaller, which is why.
Yeah, man, I'm into it. That's super cool, man.
You know,
So
I never really read
go on.
anything. I never read anything for modeling, and then Joel sent me a couple of like damaged books and whatnot, and now I can't put them down.
Oh yeah,
modeling books are the
I like
best.
soak it all
read
in my head.
and reread them.
Nah,
Get that muscle memory up here first, and then you get it here.
it's so good. You gave me a Star Wars one. I want to paint this little 172 X-wing I got now.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You're in my hood. I should let you some of my books.
Hey, for real. The Book of Brian. The last Book of Brian.
Book of Brian.
It's like the Book of Eli.
Christ. I didn't. A Monty Python reference was the last thing I was expecting from the show today.
Right?
I'm sorry. Those things invade my subconscious and they come out sometimes.
I got no filter here. What do you want?
Stream of consciousness. It just comes out of my head.
I love it, dude.
But yeah, man, dude, James, like I totally understand where you're coming from with like getting gassed out on like the big builds and everything. Like I totally feel you because I haven't finished shit since airdrop last year, and it's been almost an entire year, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty much approaching the same.
Yeah. So like for me, like I've been working on this little Blue Destiny, just a base, right? And it's been like so much fun. Like I wanted to get it done for an IPMS event tomorrow, but it ain't getting done, but whatever. But then I got, this build off thing that, me and Pabs are teamed up on, and I'm trying to get one of those Natchin tanks, trying to get my hands on one of those just to try them out and see what they're about. But man, just those little,
one of those too.
Yeah,
little guys.
That's why
Right?
Yeah, man, just those
It's
little
like
quick builds, man, are just so like it's a palate cleanser. It's refreshing. Oh, look at this.
Did you guys see what Gundam My Fam was doing with his?
Oh yeah, Terry, he's making like a tank, dude. I think it's
He's
awesome.
like, he scaled it up.
Scaling it up. Yeah,
He scaled it up.
it's
Like
nuts.
a detective.
This guy is crazy.
Yeah, Gundam Yatham.
Yeah, that's his name. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hold up, I'm gonna stun Julio. This is it. This is the stunner. I'm gonna pull mine out here. Hang on.
Ooh, he's gonna pull it out.
Prepare to be
Guys.
stunned. He's pulling it out, boys.
Hey, look at that thing.
Sorry. Random shit.
Look how small those little
Oh yeah.
guys are.
Hold
Man.
on. I'm sorry. I should
That
turn
is
the corner.
tiny, dude.
Jesus,
Teeny,
look
right?
at that.
It's 1/100 scale. So think about it with your here it is with the Atashis 100 scale, bro.
Yeah.
Come here, little tiny gigantic hands to this. There it is. Ooh, here we go. Yeah. So think about it, like, yeah, it's like a pretty decent size, like mobile suit for a 100 scale, bro, or whatever. But like, think about that with like the size of the kit. Like these are in scale with your master grade kits, which is super cool. Like
Right.
for me, for some reason, I don't know if it's cool for you guys. I don't know, whatever, but I think it's cool.
It's super cool.
I think they're awesome, man. Like,
Yeah, they're fun little. I'm sending one to Phil next week, so
yeah, nice.
he can play. So he can play too.
I'm gonna track one down, man.
Ryan, can I give you a bunch of stuff for Phil? You can send it to him.
What's that?
Can I give you a bunch of stuff for Phil, and you can send it to him too?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna send Phil I'm gonna send Phil a bunch of stuff as well, just like from my own shit. So
I'm gonna throw my shit in there now too.
you want to? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll split shipping with you. I don't
I
mind.
got it. It's good. Yeah.
Be
Julio
honest.
just doesn't want to pay for shipping, you cheap
I'll
ass.
I don't care. I don't give a fuck.
I feel
Zero
you.
fucks are given here. I'm happily paying. It's good.
Sweet.
I'm into it.
Julio's like, if you're sending it, hey.
He's gonna pack that.
Yeah. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you, Julio. We'll get in touch
Yeah,
before I ship.
Oh man.
Sweet.
Your people call my people.
Yeah, right.
It's like we're on the same train line. Let's go there.
It'll take you but a minute.
Let's have a drink.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Yeah,
Feels
it's
good.
easy. It's easy.
Nice.
That sounds fun.
Good
Yeah,
stuff.
right?
Damn, all you people living in New York.
Yeah.
Yo, hold up. Was that the English Pabs that just came out?
No, that was James.
That was the Australian James coming
Oh, that
out.
was James. Oh, I thought. I'm sorry, James. Shit. It sounded like
Jesus.
English Pabs.
Oh shit!
I heard
James.
New York, and I'm like, whoa, hold up, what?
I can
Like,
say that. I can say that's fine. New York.
Okay.
There are just certain things I can't say.
It just perked my ears up a little bit. I was just like, whoa, wait a minute, what? Man, oh man. All right, so guys, so we're gonna change gears a little bit here on this one, and we're gonna indulge Pab's desire to have meaningful conversations rather than just drinking and shit talking here.
It's just a human thing, man. Having a conversation.
Why am I even here then?
Don't we always have meaningful conversations?
What am I doing here if we're not gonna drink and talk shit?
Right?
Why don't we drink and conversate?
Hey,
There's no reason to not do that.
Isn't that the whole point of going to bars?
Yeah.
you're right.
This is the bar of the internet right now.
This is a virtual bar. Yes, you build and you virtualize.
well said.
It's just like every build meet I've ever been to.
I couldn't even
It's
think of the
about
word. I
build
was like,
meets.
what am I trying to say here right now, man? I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? Build events outside of Julio's build event at Kino Cuny are just honestly just excuses to party, like
Yeah.
for real.
Pretty much.
Like,
At
that's all
our
it is.
last build meet, one of the kids threw up within a few hours of being there.
Yeah, see, perfect.
I have never
Too
been
much
to a
whiskey.
build meet and actually.
Wow, man, super purified water from Lake Minnetonka.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Where
Yeah, we
Frankie
had a
was
lot
on
of drinking
earlier.
at ours.
Hey, I did see him in the chat, right? That was
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, he was in the chat.
Yeah, he was in there. The waters of Lake
I
Minnetonka.
don't blame him. If I saw everyone, I would have left too.
I don't want to be here.
All right.
Oh boy.
But, so get this. So I think everybody knows Handren Hisaki art, or at least most of us do.
Mhm.
So Handren posted this interesting thing on Facebook the other day, and I totally agree with him. Like the gist of it, what he said was that most builders, modelers, what have you, especially in the States, that because I can see that, kind of prominently, are kind of more like on the lazy side of things
Yeah, I am.
and don't like progress outside of like simple basic stuff or even just snap building. What do you guys think about something like that? Like, do you think that's true? Like, what's your opinion?
What's the problem with that though?
I'm not saying there is a problem. I'm just getting
Like-
opinions.
Like,
I
if
think-
you want to just be a builder who snap builds, I don't see an issue with that. Like, fucking
Yeah.
do it. Have fun. Don't be
Okay.
like me that just like builds too much complex shit and then hates their life for it.
Wow.
That got dark real quick.
Very dark. That's that corner shit over there, man.
Brian's like, you see me right now. Okay, so I have a theory that with every snap build, you're just getting better and better.
Yeah.
Even if all you're doing is snap building, Like you're progressing. Like you'll start SDs, HGs, and up RG or PG. Like you want to progress, and even that progression is something in the least bit. Sooner or later, you're gonna start panel lining and top coding because you're like, I want that. I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. No, you get better. Actually, you get better at removing nubs, at cleaning up your seam lines. You get a familiarity with the medium. Basically, is what it comes down to. You used to the tools, you get used to the stuff that you're working with, especially when it comes to Bandai, because Bandai is super duper forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Start there. You start doing a few things. Maybe you grab another kit from like what used to be Supernova. It's now what Model Heart or something like that. Or you grab like another third party kit, or you grab like a Votoms, or you grab like something else, a Veritech kit, or something like that you see, and then maybe you like whatever, it all just kind of comes together. You watch some other videos, you see like, how do I have this seam line here, how do I get rid of that? And you watch one of my ancient videos, or you watch one of the 1,000 videos that Tim has.
Don't do that.
Oh, I know it. Or whatever, and you just look at like how you can potentially progress further. Join the Discord, get involved in the community, ask them the questions.
Yeah.
People are mostly friendly and like to help out.
Was
We don't want to
the
be
original
alone building things. We want everybody to be building cool things, and like everybody to bring it together, show it, and have fun and talk about it and hang out. I think that's the part. Like, what do we do with our lives otherwise? I'm not going to work until I die.
There wasn't the original question, like, what about the people who don't want to do that, who just want to do the one thing?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, granted, I see it as a like gateway drug.
Yeah.
And I was just as bad. I started as a like, oh, yeah, I'll just do this and whatever. And then 5 seconds in, I was like, I'm going to build the biggest thing I fucking can because why not? But I know plenty of people that just snap build and that's it. Was it referring to the more?
I think you get what you give in this hobby, right? Like you can be a snap builder all you want, and no one. The ideal in an ideal world, no one's going to judge you. Like you can snap build all day and be proud and be happy, and that's fine. But if you put in like the effort, if you start to read more deeply into what you can do in the hobby, I think that you'll essentially get more out of it. So the more you give, the more time you put in, and the more
100%.
Yeah. So whatever you do in this hobby, man, it's I don't care. If you want to snap build, please snap build. That's
for real.
That's all on you.
Enjoy that.
If you want to learn more, there is always going to be more.
Yeah.
Would you like to know more?
The truth will shock you. Number 5 will shock you.
I tend to have the same sentiment. However, I think more people should have the desire to actually get better.
Yes, sir.
Nothing wrong with snap building. That's entirely cool. But if you're snap building and then wondering why your stuff doesn't look as good as the person next to you, there's a reason for that, and you have to want to get better.
Yeah,
hobby itself.
exactly. No one's forcing you to do the psychotic crap that I take on, or anyone else for that matter.
No pressure. No pressure.
As long as the desire to get better is there, I think that's the most important part. You can enjoy it as much as you want. It's all great and good. Do something new, have a good time, and you're probably just gonna enjoy that and get really good at it.
Truthfully too, it depends on how you were introduced to it. You know what I mean? Like for some people, whenever they were introduced to building, gunpowder tanks or whatever, they were introduced by a friend who was also just maybe snap building. Like for me, I was introduced to it by watching these amazing Japanese builders not share how they do things, and I was like, I want to do that, and I want to do it better. So I think it's how you're introduced to it too. So people who have the mentality of all I want to do is snap build this thing and call it a day, I think that's just how they were introduced, and that's how, and they're gonna stay happy doing that.
Right.
And here I was being introduced by Gundam build fighters.
That's it. I mean, there was customizing in that thing, right? I remember
It's the whole show.
I love building fighters, man.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm like, that's shitty build divers.
My first Gundam series that I watched was IBO.
Yeah.
Well, currently. So I didn't watch any Gundam back in the day. I didn't watch it in the 90s. I caught like a couple episodes of Wing, a couple episodes of G. I watched like a lot of F9, a little bit of F91, like enough of F91 to imprint on me back in the day. And like that really drew me in, like as I was a, 36, 37-year-old man getting into this hobby now as I'm a 40-year-old man. Yeah, whatever. I built models when I was a little kid, and I built like hot rods and NASCAR and monster trucks and jet fighters and classic warplanes and sailboats and like warships and everything.
Sailboats.
Into all of that stuff when I was a little kid. I just got like really hype on it until everyone was like, "Really, are you still doing that?" And I was like, "Okay, so I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to do this other art thing." So I'm just like that kind of person. I just do that stuff. So it was natural for me to fall back.
Making everything, bro.
You
be making everything.
Jack of all trades, master of none. That's kind of like my claim. It's better than a master of only one. But yeah, so it's like, where the fuck am I going with this?
I was on the same boat earlier. I was like, am I saying? Am I making sense?
I lost my train of thought.
Brian just went down a tangent road, and he's just like, I'm lost.
It was good until we started talking about
Sailboats.
You started talking about stuff. Thank you.
I would love.
What it really boils down to is get excited about what you like. If you don't like this, don't be excited about it. If you like this and you're excited about it, be excited about it. That is okay. That is what life is about, is having a good time, enjoying what you do. If you have a crappy job, that's okay. It pays your bills. Fuck that. Have fun elsewhere. Have fun doing this. Come hang out and like have a good time. That's, I'm not trying to be
I think essentially just don't be a dick.
What?
Right?
That's my whole persona.
Perfect.
Oh shit!
But I think there's something to kind of like what Pab said. Like your introduction to it, probably has at very least a little bit, if not a pretty good amount. Like Julio. Like, how were you introduced to this whole shit show genre of modeling? Julio
Which one?
Julio 1, sorry.
I watched Wing and whatnot because I always loved anime and big robots and whatnot. So I built as a kid, and then 2017, I picked up a HD for nostalgia, and I'm like, I'm gonna paint this thing a little bit, fancy. And that I was just like, I want to make an RG, I want to make an MG, I want to keep going. Like, how far can I go with this?
Yeah.
And I'm here now, painting resin.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd be doing that. I was a snap builder.
Right.
Yeah, like it just keeps going. You enter some stuff, and then other people like it, and they start talking to you about your stuff, and you're like, "Oh, this is cool. I want to make more stuff." It just keeps going. It's addictive as hell. It really is.
Exactly.
Nice. So Julio 2, Julio 3, whatever. He's the greatest, by the way. His hat says so. Look at the hat.
He's right. He's right.
He's the greatest. So how did you get into it, man? Like, talk to us. Like, what was your progress?
Well, I got back into it. I got into it when I was a kid, maybe like 16 or something like that. Like everybody else in the U.S., exposed to Wing, and thought that shit was awesome.
The Wing boys.
It really isn't. But there was a little video game store that had some arcade games in the back that I always used to go to, getting these like these like boxes with like robots on them, and I was just like, dude, I want that, and bought out like just about the entire stock over like the summer, just straight snap build and everything, and fell out of the hobby when I had left the house years later. Was out with my significant other. We were trying to figure out what to do for our anniversary. I said, hey, let's build a model together. So, we went on down to this hobby shop and tried to figure out. I just dropped the Barbatos torso. We couldn't really settle on a model to pick and build together. And, So we just settled on 2. I was like, look,
Then we broke up.
I'm gonna
But what do you want to build? What do you want to build? I don't think we can do this no more.
That's what he was.
I'm done. I'm out.
They wanted an Ava model kit. I wanted the Gundam. I was like, look, Sengoku is great. It has swords. Swords are cool. They were just like, no, you're fucking edgelord. And, we got them both. I sat there, built the Ava model with them, and I was like, dude, I enjoyed this. And just started buying a whole bunch more, taking it from there. Once again, doing snap build nonsense. I wanted to get into like customization, so got an airbrush. Read a little bit about airbrushing, didn't read enough. Learned over like maybe like a year the hard way what to do, what not to do. Eventually started linking up with people, started telling them, what am I doing wrong? What can I do better? Where can I change? And people honestly gave me advice. People honestly gave me their opinions. And, here I am now, forcing myself to build something that I don't want to, but, enjoying the hell out of the actual hobby and doing all these other things, within like building plastic models and all that. I don't really have any resin kits. I'm not fancy like that.
No, it's not fancy. It's an illness. Don't do it.
For real, dude. I feel a little sick.
I got like a little tiny like Siamagara How because let's face it, that's like my favorite Gundam character, well, female at least.
Right.
And it's just kind of been a wild ride. Buying all this nonsense and enjoying it, trying to get better, constantly trying to get better.
Yeah, boy.
Got you. All right, so just real quick, guys. So looking at Hanrin's comment here, because he wanted me to spotlight this here. So he says, looking at it as a whole, not as individuals, if we want the community skill level to reach the international level, or probably I think what he's more referring to is kind of like Asian level, we need to settle for more than just snap building influence to do better, right? So what do you guys think about that? Do you think that's on, or what do you think?
I understand, but I disagree. Because with that mentality, I feel like this is like kind of a somewhat of a negative thing with Western builders is that we're constantly treating it like it's a competition,
right?
Like we're constantly comparing and like, okay, this guy is better than this guy, or like it's always a competition and a comparison when it really shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like there's a time and place for it, and GBWC and IPMS and build offs and all that stuff. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to as long as it elevates your perspective on the hobby and if you're looking to build up your skill level, then that's great. But it shouldn't always constantly be a competition.
Right.
True. Right. I mean, at least for me, I don't think it should be. And that's why I disagree with that.
Yeah, I'm a competitive person by nature.
Right.
And not to be like detrimental by that. Like I'm not like Chris. Like if you and I were going to be like not even competing but building the same thing at the same time, just happenstance.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my best to do my best.
Right.
I compete against myself. So I'm not trying to compete against you. I'm just competitive, just like because I like to try to do my absolute best. So
yeah.
When I was a kid, I used to be like, oh, I'm against you, or whoever, like running or whatever, like as an idiot child would do. As I've matured, I realized that like who I'm really trying to compete against is ultimately myself. And so regardless of the situation, even if I'm like, like whatever build off or not even a build off or just anything, even if I'm just building something for funzos, I'm just like trying to beat my best time, and in that like kind of like
right.
Raise your own ghost.
I agree with that, but that wasn't the point that Hadron was making.
Yeah, I know. I'm always derivating. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm just
like yeah. Go ahead, William.
I should change my name to Captain Segway.
So like. Is it like people who are doing more? It's not our responsibility to try to push the rest of the community to do more, But how would we influence them? You know, like we show them our work and everyone's just like, oh, wow, dude, you really pushed me to want to make more stuff. Like you make some really cool stuff. And I'm always in the DM like, I'm just trying, dude. Like
Yeah,
I'm
you're
not doing
having a good
anything
time,
crazy.
right?
Yeah. But it is, I do think that like with the work that you put in, other people do get influenced. But should we push more to try to get more people to do more? Like,
No.
I don't push people. I'm not pushing anyone.
like influence them to make better?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I don't.
I try to
I don't-
inspire.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
I don't know if pushing is the right way, but encouraging, right?
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, if you want to do this, man, you can absolutely do this.
True.
But it's up to you, right?
Yeah.
And I think to Handren's point, and I kind of get what he's saying, right? Because I think Handren, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's wanting, you know, kind of the tide raises all ships, kind of so to speak, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know, he kind of wants the entire, you know, skill level to be, you know, kind of on par with our Asian brethren, right? But I also think on the flip side of that is that those guys have had like a 20-30 year head start on us, right? So
Tomato, man.
there's a learning curve, and they're on the other side of that curve right now, you know? And we're just coming around. We're just starting to come around that curve. So I think, you know, there's part of that, so to speak, in there too. You know, there's part of that equation in there.
It's going to happen over time. Like things are expanding.
Yeah.
And people are just doing more and more and more and getting better at trying to. It's going to happen.
It's really just starting to kind of pick up a little bit over here. Like even within the last handful of years that I've been participating in this community, like it has actually taken off quite a bit. So
yeah, no doubt. And I think Handren is kind of being more altruistic with his sentiment and not necessarily kind of denoting quote unquote competitions or anything like that.
No.
But,
That's not what I was getting at.
Honestly, competition pushes you. It really does.
Well,
like,
there is that, you know.
I am competitive.
Competition breeds excellence is what you know my old football coach always used to say. And I do believe in that, right? But there's obviously, you know, two mindsets. Like me and Brian, we're competitive, right?
Absolutely.
We compete. We get in the fight and just love that feeling, right?
Yeah, I want to beat you, Tim.
Yeah. And there's nothing
to beat you.
And as long
I love
Dude,
you, Tim. You're fucking awesome, and I'm so glad you're my friend, and I love competing with you.
Right?
Yeah.
Right, but that's not the mentality some people
Brian
have.
is going to kick my ass at Mosquito Con
And I
because
was happy to lose to you in any event. I don't care.
he's bringing airdrop, bro.
dude, no, I'm bringing
It's
airdrop
happening.
to ODO tomorrow because I didn't.
You gotta bring to Mosquito Con, right?
I thought you couldn't enter the same model twice in
Oh.
the same region or something like that.
You entered already?
Oh, I don't
From
know.
IPMS?
Man, there's so many rules that I don't know about.
Yeah, I don't know. But like ODO is in Region 2 IPMS here in the States, and Mosquito Con is in Region 2. So
Okay.
I'll just bring something else. I don't care. But it's not going to be nearly as good, and you're going to kick my ass with the Briegel and everything. So.
It's about having fun, like I was saying before. Showing good stuff. I like to show my ass and have everybody look at it. I'm joking.
Hey now.
Everyone wants to see your ass too.
Are we at that point
I like
already?
to make cool things, and I want people to make cool things too. I want to inspire people. That's really what it's all about to me. Like I'm not here to do anything other than have a good time. And in you guys, you know what? You know.
Well, and I think going back to Julio's point about influencing and stuff like that, influencers fucking suck. All right, let's just say that influencers suck.
But you know, like the
If
effort,
you're trying to
the
hold on
effort they
1 second, Julio. Let me finish my thought here, just real quick, and then you can go. Right, like if you charge for a build meet, you suck. Right, you're an ass. And then if you go on a fucking podcast and complain about it, you're a bitch. Case closed. I'm gonna say it just like that. But anyway, I think there is a point to be made about knowing your role in kind of the hierarchy of things. Like if you're an experienced, if you're an accomplished builder, there is somewhat of a responsibility on your shoulders to kind of, I don't know, I guess assist in a way and be the shepherd, so to speak.
I'm a Sherpa.
And I kind of, and I kind of embrace that. Like I've gotten used to that over the years. I wasn't comfortable with that, but especially like with Julio, people DMing him like, "Hey, dude, how'd you do that? I love your shit." Blah 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 blah. And he's just like, "I don't know. I'm just doing my thing, dude." No,
I tell them what I do. I help.
I offer the opportunity to learn a lot of times. I don't like just throw it all out there because nobody wants to go and read a fucking 1,000 things when I show something on Discord and they're like, "How'd you do that?" I usually go, magic. I'll let you know, and if they do, then I'll talk them in DMs and we'll go through a thing. Otherwise, I'm not just gonna like just blah it all out there. I used to do that. I really did used to do that. It was bad. It was very bad.
I was just thinking that, like, you know how the effort influencers put out there to get like their message across. Like, should we be doing that? Like, should we put an effort to try to get people better?
Absolutely.
So that we all,
I think there does need to be some effort put across if that's what you want to do, and if you do want to embrace that role of shepherd, if you will, right? Like I do that, right? I put effort into social media. I put effort into obviously branding and everything like that. I do put effort into that. I make no bones about that, right? But I do it in a way that I want to try and help and basically give back and kind of pay forward, if you will, like to kind of the next group of builders that are coming up, right? I want to be able to say, the next GBWC US champion or 5 down the line or 10 down the line got their start by watching my live streams or something like that, Like that's awesome. That would be an accomplishment for me, right? Like that right there, I think is probably one of the biggest compliments you could take as someone in the public, right? So I don't know. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I'm not in this for glory.
Yeah.
I like robots and mechanical stuff and like making things, like making big things really small. I also like making small things really, really big too. It just depends on how I'm feeling. It's just kind of the nature of the beast,
How Julio and myself actually became friends was because of something I did, and he sent me a DM and he was just like, "Bro, how did you do this? Bro, I want to do this too. Help me out. Help me get started." And I was just like, "Okay, sweet. Yeah, what do you want?"
Super true, man. That
his
iron-blooded Leo.
Yeah. When we both entered that what is the new type HQ bracket challenge last year, he was just like, "Oh, your Leo's so sick. I want to do that too." And I'm just like, let's get started.
Yeah, for real. You have the kit.
He had some ideas, and I was like, give this a try, give that a try doing this, see how this looks, see how that looks, and he was going hard. Like he was like messaging me like 10 minutes later, like, "Yo, how's this look? You think I could do this? You think I could get away with this?" And I'm just like, "Bro, just go in."
Yeah, hell yeah.
Right? Now look at him. He's a beast right now.
He's a coin collector.
I got a coin on me.
Yeah, coin collector.
I'm trying.
So Kyle here, our boy, Clueless.
Hey, what up, Kyle?
He's got a good point here too. He says, just got to be careful. There are a few quote unquote shepherds who shouldn't be leader folks yet until they better their own skills first before giving bad information.
Ooh,
all right, so let's get a pin there. What do we think about this?
There's some boys out there.
Let's dive in, boys.
Hold on. I need to just
Oh, James is going hard. Let's go, James. Come on,
He's like,
buddy.
all right, we're gonna talk now.
Let's do this.
I think I'll get a couple
Well, I think I believe it went from a lot of people telling there's no difference really between like enamels and lacquers
Oh
and
my god.
acrylics and just telling people to do completely wrong things because they're like, oh, this guy's asking me a question. I have no fucking idea. So I'm just going to go like make shit up on the spot. Like I like bullshitting as much as the next people. But when you're giving people actual information that they're going to like hate you for and like it's just not going to work because you have no idea what you're talking about. Why even bother? Just go. Why can't you go look at Tim? I can ask him. He will, like does this shit all the time. He will be able to point you in the right direction instead of fucking bullshitting. And I've seen so many that happen too many times. And fuck, it just drives me insane. Like, God, it made me angry.
You're not
So
the
there are
only
those.
one.
There are people out
Dude.
there that want to be leaders, right? I'm gonna put in quote leaders
Yeah.
of a community. I mean, it doesn't matter if they have the knowledge or the skill to teach or to lead, but they just want that position.
Right.
And it's a shame because I've seen that very frequently. But I mean I don't know, man. That's just personalities for you. That's just a personality thing. And I don't know if that's actually something we can even deter. Well, the only thing you can really do is educate, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, certain people think they're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Like in their eyes, they're the good guy.
It's justification. It's the justification of their actions. It's just how it is.
And this is why I hate people.
Stay home, man. Don't go out.
I mean, there's always like a million ways to do stuff. Like,
Yeah.
But don't like do it your way and then tell people this is how you do it. Like this is how it goes down. Like let them learn, tell them how you did it. Maybe they can find something out, figure something out else. Maybe they can teach you something, Figure it out. Oh shit.
Figure it out.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Oh, fucking.
Here we go again.
Me and Julio are gonna talk later.
But there's a lot of dudes out there who are like, they think they're making gold, and I'm just like, this is rough, like real rough, and I'm not gonna watch your videos, bro. I'm sorry, but I give them credit. They're trying to advance. They keep going, it's not bad at all.
Yeah, you got to give them some kudos for that in regards to just being like active within the community,
very much so.
within drawing, regardless of how they draw people into the community. They're drawing people into the community for what it's worth.
Yeah.
I mean, ill-begotten gains or misled intentions is like speculative at best, but obvious in other cases. I don't know. It's hard to say.
There's some dudes out there who say, go Google
it's hard to like pass like a scope of judgment on people. It's kind of like a case thing. And I don't think that like a meetup at a event, or like not event necessarily, but like the Kinokuniya thing. Like, what the fuck? Who's gonna fucking charge for that? Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Why? Why are you trying to hurt the community in that? And in regard, like, you're just pushing people away by charging money for nothing. What are you giving them?
He's the good guy in his story.
Giving them
Or they're the good people in their story.
No, I mean, because like Bandai
Justification. It's
wants people to build more. They want, so they give us these amazing, awesome, easy to put together, very simple kits. They're awesome, right? And they give them to the people that want to do. I've never received any of these things. I'm only talking on speculation, but like you get these kits, and then you have the event where you like set the things up, and everyone's in agreement, and their hands are shaking, and everyone's like, "Hey, this is going to be great for everyone," because like they're going to buy the coffees or they're going to do whatever the fuck it is while they build their kits, and it's cool, and everyone is good, and then you go in there and you're like, "I want some fucking money."
You got $10?
You fucking do to deserve the money.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to the people that are trying to do the grift. Like, I get it. You got to scam. You got to hustle. It's a hustling market.
Find the queen. Find the queen.
There's nothing wrong with making a buck. There's zero wrong with making a buck.
Yeah. Don't harp
That's
on
fine.
somebody else for holding the same event for free that
Right.
you held for
Yeah.
That shouldn't be your driving force.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, yeah.
Exactly. That's not what it's about. That's not what the
Yeah.
This
community
is my
about.
business.
Well, and that's the thing. Like for transparency, guess what, guys? Yes, I make money in this business. Not a lot, but I do. Right.
You do
That's
it helpfully though. Like
You work-
here's
you know
links to
what?
all my tools.
Well, and that's the thing.
Guess what? You work your fucking ass off.
Yeah. Like that, and that's kind of the thing. That's kind of the justification for it. You know, you look at guys like me. You can look at guys like Joel, right? Who push the t-shirts and everything. Dude, he is hustling 24/7, but he's also doing positive shit in his community and for other communities. And he's been the influence for I don't know how many damn communities.
OG.
Don't get
in
me
At
the
least
wrong.
US.
with a t-shirt, you get
Hustle is
something.
good. You gotta hustle for your money, but
Yeah.
yeah.
That shouldn't be the end goal. That should never be the end goal.
Yes. Now,
Yeah.
I mean, mind you, like I would love to do scale modeling for a living, right? Is that in the cards?
Wouldn't we all?
Who knows? Who knows,
Like,
right?
If
I could do this and stream like 8 hours a day for you guys, I'd fucking do it in a heartbeat. That would be my job, right?
We'd get sick of each other.
What's up?
We'd get sick of each other like that.
Oh yeah, you guys would hate seeing my face. Oh god, this asshole again, right?
Yes.
No, but like,
But we're gonna watch, dude.
if I
How's that any different from now?
Wow, thanks, James. I fucking love James. He just and his timing is just right there, gets you. I love it.
What you get? This here, right here.
So here's
It's like a Tyson cross, man. Oh,
this is where I personally think that it's different. Okay. I get a place, I get a bunch of people to sit down, I charge them $5, $10 a head, and all they're doing is just here and pretending it's Chuck E. Cheese doing their own fucking thing. I'm making money off doing that when the guy next door is just doing it. If my intention is to just make money and then let these people do whatever the hell they want, I personally don't think that's the right way to do it.
yeah.
Whereas with you, it's okay. You charge like $5. You're doing a class, and if I don't want to go, I can watch this on stream. But I don't get the same results watching it on stream than I would being there with you. You know what I'm saying? Like
When you don't get the, excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you don't get the opportunity to interject and ask a question. As well, right?
yeah, exactly. Like Julio, Maddie, and myself, we drove down to see Tim and Justin, photography class, and I'm just like, okay, this is cool because I'm right here in person. Like I can literally just stop this guy and be like, hey,
What?
hey,
asshole.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Right, what up? Hey.
I could actually do that. And then, at the same time, even after the class was done, we were able to sit there and chill and, it's just like, hey, let me take a look at your stuff. And then, he told me like, look, your paint could use work. You can do this a lot better. You can do that. He did the same thing with Julio. Look, you could do this. You could do, like things like that you don't normally get sitting at home just watching on Twitch. Like I can't, sit here and be like, how does this look?
Right.
Because from over here it looks okay, and when you're looking at it up close, you're like, wow, this is crap.
Let's be absolutely real. Like, who doesn't want to make money off of doing something they love?
Yeah.
Like I have never met anybody that's went, no, I don't want to do that. I love it.
How
But
much?
I'm like, yeah. No, like I've never heard anybody say that. So I get it. I 100% get it. I mean, I wouldn't take commissions if I didn't want to make some money off of this, right? Like I'm not gonna be a hypocrite and say no. I'm doing this shit for free, but yeah, I'm charging how much for commissions? I'm not even gonna say.
It's a lot of work.
I got a new car though.
Pabs charges a lot for commissions, y'all.
But that is a bonus. That shouldn't be that was never what was in my mind when I started to build.
Yeah,
like that is just an added bonus, and fair play to everybody who does commissions or the commissions for Tim's stream and stuff like that. Like that's fair play, and and I appreciate the transparency and I appreciate the hustle. Just don't let it be your main objective.
Yeah.
Don't let be an influencer and don't be Don't let money be your main goal when you're doing this. Do this because you enjoy it. Do it because it gives you happiness. Don't do this because you want to get rich off of it. Because I guarantee you that's not going to happen. So
I just don't want people to lose the love.
you're not. We're not Naoki over here. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing, guys, because like going back to Julio's topic about the classes and everything. Newsflash: I've never made a cent, not 1 cent off of any of the classes that I did. If you paid money, that was to the venue. It wasn't. I didn't get nothing out of it. Right. I do it because I enjoy doing it. Right. So I mean that's kind of the big thing, right?
Yeah, you do it because it makes everything better for everyone.
Yeah,
and that makes me happy when I can do that. When I have the opportunity to help someone or like further someone's whatever it is, regardless how big, how small, it doesn't fucking matter. If I'm doing something metalworking, if I'm doing something whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. If I get all New York on you. I'm glad to help, and it makes me that is the best high in the fucking world, is to be able to help somebody and see them grow and help them grow.
To see the results is
exactly.
amazing, absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
Like
that's.
I think I have a new product idea right here.
Hey, who's trying to get this bath water?
I'm gonna start selling bath water. Just me and Julio gonna go in. What do you think, Julio?
I'm with it.
Gumbo guys bath water?
Sounds good to me. With it. I'm gonna put a little sofrito in mine. Good, bro.
Some rose petals. Hey, there you go.
You can advertise it at blue shit better than like CA.
Oh my god. Oh man, that shit was just man. But hey, just let me real quick, you guys. Let me read something here, because unfortunately the comments from the Mecha Army Facebook group don't flow into this chat, right? So there's a gentleman over there, Steven Zarzecki. Steven, if I'm butchering your name, I apologize, brother. But he says, and this is kind of going back a little bit in our conversation, but he says, I'm all for helping people grow in the hobby, but I also think we need to tell people gingerly when things look obviously wrong to kind of push them to that next level. Sometimes people can be too sensitive to being told when they can improve on their builds by just doing a few small things, right?
True.
Right thing.
No, it's true. You have to be artful with your delivery. I can be blunt and I can be delicate, and it's not easy.
Right.
Criticism should be constructive. You should not be to be mean. Because it's bad. Like, I call it I believe it. What is it? I call it a shit sandwich, essentially. So I critique and then I compliment again. It's like a nice little shit sandwich.
Got you. Compliment, critique, compliment. Okay.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you did this and this and this, but
here, take a bite.
Just watch some Chopped on food.
Better, but
You'll
definitely did a
learn
good job here. It's like a little sandwich, though.
Yeah.
I got a prime example of that, actually.
All right, go.
And Julio will know what I'm talking about.
Oh.
There was a guy in a Facebook group that posted a model.
Yeah.
And it was okay for what it was. It was okay. I jumped in there. I said, "Hey, look, it looks cool. I like the idea. It's a great concept. Your paints are a little thick, though. Maybe you might want to, water them down a little bit. Thin them out so that way, the application will be a lot smoother." Mm-hmm. And this dude just fucking lost his shit.
Right?
How dare you tell me how to do things?
He was just like, "What? I already do that. I did this enough. I don't need you to tell me what's going on. I did everything perfectly right." And I'm just like,
bro,
if I didn't act like that, I wouldn't have said shit in the first place,
Yeah.
And
true, brother.
he just like wild out. And I'm like, dude, all I did was I said it was a nice, great concept. It looks cool. Maybe you might want to thin your paints just a little bit more. And I was not being a dick. Julio saw that, was just like, yo, your paint is mad rough.
Just got in it.
Was that on Facebook in the group that I moderate? Or no?
This shit is rough, yo. Thin your paints.
Was that in?
And this dude just went bonkers behind it.
Wow.
He went hard, dude. He blocked me. Like, he was
What?
mad. Yeah, he was real mad.
Damn.
And the fuck thing is that happens way too much. People cannot handle criticism.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Well, some people post online anyway. Some people post not for criticism, but for praise, right?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter how good or bad the thing is. They just
Yeah.
want the praise. They want to feel good.
Well,
about
this is
themselves.
the worst thing I find about like
Instant.
Instagram and shit, because I post stuff all the time, and every time I post shit, it's just a wall of people going, "That's great, that's great, that's great," and no one ever tells me anything bad about my shit or like where I
Yeah.
can improve.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Next time you post shit, I will.
All
I
right,
will
James.
Dude,
Challenge accepted.
Yes, please. No, but like I would love like someone to go like, "I like this, but like try
No,
this
I mean,
next time, maybe."
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna blow any smoke up your skirt, but I'll give you my honest criticism. Like
Yeah, I think-
seriously, just as a friend, you know, like there's no reason that I shouldn't, and
I feel
that's
like
cool. I really love the work that you do, so I don't know how much bad criticism I can give you, but I'll give you the best that I can as a fellow.
But that's what I think people should do. Like, tell me what's good, but like, go, this is really good, but you done fucked up bad on this shit. Get good, scrub.
Yeah, and that's what,
Good.
you can own that. It's easy to own that as a moderator. Be like, you know what? You're right. I'm gonna fix it, and then fix it. It's very simple.
But I also think it comes with like, from like people I don't know, if they're just going to come in and be like, "You're shit," or like, "This is bad. Maybe you should." You don't really want that coming in. But like, for people I've like interacted with heaps, you don't have to go awesome all the time.
Yeah.
I've known you long enough that you can go in and go, "Oh, that's really good, but it was a bit rough, like on this. I don't think you got that seam line a little bit. Maybe like think about doing this."
Of course.
Stop being so shit.
So on the screen here, Handren said, if you're going to take the time to share your work online, be prepared to get critiques, especially if you just started. And I think that's a valid comment, you know, especially, you know, in the world of Facebook, Instagram, the whole nine. And, you know, to James' point, you know, if you're not like a super high level builder, it's you're going to get some people, you know, saying, "Hey, do this, do that, you know, try this, try that," right? So what do you guys think about something like this? What are your opinions?
You got to have a bit of a thick skin. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you're making some, and maybe you're not like making what you see online. So you got to expect people are going to be like, you could probably work on this, you could probably work on that. But some people take that as like you're trying to kill their mother. Like,
Right.
what is wrong with you? Relax, bro. Try to help.
Take it in stride. You're absolutely right. Take it in stride.
Please.
Well, this is where I miss the forum sort of posts that used to happen, because stuff would be up for a while and you'd sit on the forums and you'd have people being like, "Oh yeah, this is really cool," and you'd start a thread and people would come in and critique your work, and it was good. But now with Facebook and Instagram, where it's all quick bang, instant gratification, like I just blew my load in 5 seconds sort of shit, nothing proves. You can't sit there and like build a rapport with other people as much.
No, I agree with you.
I
I used to participate in the RPF, the replica prop forum. It's been that long that I haven't.
Hell yeah, dude.
So I used to fuck around with the RPF. We used to hang out around with some motherfuckers down in Australia as well, building props, and that's where I got into. I think I met some really good people. A good friend of mine in Israel also I met through that same like group. But like you can meet really cool people. But the same deal. It's like that. I start a thread. And I go through and I do my whip for my props, and it's like 180 hours of shit like piled into this big long thing. And you build these like friend groups and these like associations with different people, and you get this like great little mini community or like whatever. But that kind of thing isn't as prevalent as it is anymore. You're absolutely right.
Forums have just died.
We've lost a little bit of that, like that I don't know, like it's like like a letter, like letters when we were young, like sending like letters to a pen pal or something like
Pen
that.
pal, yeah.
You know, like,
Wow.
somebody,
And
I don't know. I'm like old as fuck. So feeling really old as fuck right now. So
it's like making a mixtape to give to that girl you like.
exactly same kind of deal. Like when tapes were a thing.
Oh,
Well, they
shit.
were a thing, man. Come on, now. Cursive slow jams.
I mean, they're still
Slow
a thing.
jams.
But when
It's still a thing. I went to a show and someone was selling a tape.
when the CDRs came out, though, people were like, "Oh yeah, I could do this a lot easier instead of running to the stereo and play a record."
They record. Wish the DJ would shut up so you can get the whole damn song.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, girl, I made you this mixtape. Hope you like it. Jesus.
I hope you like the Funkmaster Flex. 'Cause he's blowing stuff up.
Because I really like Funkmaster Flex.
Oh my god. I tried to cut out all the commercials I could. Jesus.
God,
But
I miss that. Those are the days.
right? Oh shit.
You know, I think that technology advancing as fast as it has really give us that like thrown away society.
Yeah.
You know, like whatever, I'm throwing comments or I'm throwing my hateful bullshit out into the world.
Right.
Like we've advanced so far and so fast that people are just don't give a shit anymore.
Our
Right,
attention
right.
spans are scientifically shorter now.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm just
It's
amazed I can
scientific.
hate people on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty hype. Not gonna lie.
I've never met this person, but I know I hate them. All
Yeah.
right.
I'm gonna Photoshop stuff in their mouth.
Right. Zing.
Here's the person I don't like eating a sandwich. Now they're eating
But I mean, that's the thing that, it's a good point about the forums because, like, back in the day, like when I was coming up, we had like,
And we
I
all
don't
know Tim's old enough to say back in the day.
Yeah, well, hey, I don't make any bones about it. Yeah, I started in the early 2000s, late 90s,
Old head.
2000s or whatever. And yeah, forums were the thing back then, man. Like you had like a plethora of forums to choose from. Like you had like Gundam.com, you had GundamShop.com, you had I even had a big one, ChildofMecha.com. You had
a big one.
Yeah, hey, still pretty big.
The dick swinging contest.
But but like back then, like the forums were the place to share and learn information, and they were so well, categorized and cataloged and searchable. Like you could just pop in a search term and boom, you'd have like 90 different threads on that search term that you could go and peruse and just dip through, right?
That's the other thing that we're missing, being able to search for shit really easily.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Amen.
And to that point, Handred made a comment earlier on in the stream that I didn't get able to highlight, but he said, back in the day, we were all so keen on learning new things and trying new techniques and watching videos and tutorials, trying to seek these things out from over in Japan and stuff like that, to where the early masters were and all that. But I think that kind of has something to do with the failing of forums, is that information isn't as easily found as it was once before. What do y'all think about that?
I mean,
I think there's
I'm
validity to that.
100%.
I'm not as old head as Timothy over there. So,
Well,
I mean,
Oh,
I used to peruse forums. Like a big one for me, at least personally, was Anime Ski, which was like a torrent website for anime back in the day. And they had like a very specific Gunpla thread that went on for like 1,000 pages. And I mean, I remember like going through page by page, like hundreds and hundreds of pages to look for the best builds and stuff that I could never make. So I think that while it wasn't the most efficient way of finding things and finding inspiration and learning these things that I never got to learn because nobody shared their stuff, I feel like these days, it's just, I mean, it's a lot easier these days, right? Like to find whatever it is you need to find. I have no idea where I'm going with this now. I've lost my...
I don't think it is easier to find what you're looking for, though. Like, back then, you could search a forum and go pouring a waterfall, and you could find a forum post on someone detailing how they did it, but you could find 50 posts on that. If I jump on Instagram, it's like hashtag, fuck, what do I search on the hashtag to find this?
No, you can't search that shit on Instagram.
Well, I think we're inundated by information now.
Yeah.
Back then, we had to really search for that specific information. If we tried to search for a specific piece of information now, we'd get like 50,000 results, and we wouldn't know which one to kind of specifically follow.
Yeah, like 25% of them shits is going to be porn.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. You get distracted.
Or like
Something
whatever.
with tentacles and Freddy.
Meat flaps and all. Yeah.
Another 10% is going to be completely unrelated, but still tagged towards that for marketing value because
Yeah.
of what the setup is gone. You know, it's weird. You know?
I personally think that the more scarce the information you're looking for is, the more you actually value it. For example, take like those hobby books that come out of Japan, you know, where people just do all this like wild stuff on there, and you know, there's things on there that like you can't exactly search up on the internet. Like you can try, but you can't find how to or anything like that.
Truth.
You know, things like that. You know, you'll get more value out of it rather than how do I thin my paints? Go into Google. How do I thin my paints? And then you have like 30 results of like some joker telling you use this, and some other guy telling you use this.
Or whatever. Like Jesus.
Yeah. And
So-
you know, the information that's readily available, it's kind of like easily dismissed. And the stuff that's really hard to come across is you know, it holds greater worth. You know, take Tim, for prime example. You put up that little article about how to fit two parts together.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of people, you know, they've asked me before with like my IBO Leo. They were just like, "How did you get these parts to fit?" And you know, once I showed them, they were like, "Oh!" And then they're sending me pictures of them trying it.
Right.
So it's like it's something that not everybody thinks of, but it's like once one person presents how to do it, now you're like, okay, now I want this information because you see that it's useful. You know, some people are just like, how do I kit bash? And then it's like, oh, here we go. You know?
Right.
I guess.
And it's funny that you brought up the article because I was going to say something about that too. So,
Of course
that-
you were.
well, shut up. God damn it, James. You dick.
You know, the thing about that article is that shows you how kind of old fashioned Tim is. Like that, if you look at that format of how that thing is written out, that's exactly how forums used to do them.
Yeah. Well, it's a step-by-step process, right? And and Handren actually said something just a few seconds ago. He said, here it is. At the same time, you see people's whips. Most of the time, there is no steps showing or explaining on there. It's like, hey, I did this. Look, right? So, and I'm guilty of that. Highly guilty of that. Mainly because
I think we all are.
mainly because I get so wrapped up in the build itself that I forget to document it, right?
Right.
So that's kind of, honestly, that's why I do
Dude, I
streaming.
used to hyper document my shit all the time. I hyper documented the shit out of several of the props that I made back in the day, and I had some of that stuff stolen by people because I hyper documented it and wasn't into the marketing aspect of being like, yo, I'm gonna try and sell the fuck out of this thing, y'all. Money, dollar bills, y'all. I'm making something really cool, and I'm sharing my process with somebody else to like enjoy the experience with me. And then you get fucking poached and you get ripped off. So like I'm guarded with what I do now, especially when it comes to competition stuff. So like I don't show this thing. Anyone that comes into Mechanism, this is like my little sneaky show. It's my poop show where I show the shit off that I don't do for anybody else because I care about what I'm making and I don't want to just show it off because somebody's gonna poach that shit. Probably, maybe not. Doesn't matter.
On the opposite like needle or side of the needle of that is that I mean, back when I was perusing those forums, nobody shared that kind of information. It was very scarce. Mm-hmm. So with me nowadays, I do what I can to spread as much information as possible. I'm not like none of my methods are secret. Like anybody who asks me, how do I paint the way I paint, or how do I?
Dude, and I'm the same way. If someone
Yeah.
asks me a question, happily answer it anytime, 100%, always. No worries. Super transparency.
Mhm.
Just please ask
Well,
me.
it's the same. Like, with
I'm not just
our
gonna give it to you.
GWC thing here, everyone's like, "Oh, you can't show your builds all the time and how you're working on them." I'm like, why?
Bullshit.
Like, I'll show you everything I do, and they're like, "You got to stop showing your builds." I'm like, "Why would I stop showing my builds?" They're like,
Yep.
"Oh yeah, but then other people could do it." I'm like, "Mate, if someone can take what I've done and do it better and beat me, fuck yeah, that's awesome."
I want
Exactly.
Like, hats off to that person.
Somebody,
Right.
They're not
somebody,
going to because they're fucking worse than me, but whatever.
somebody sent me a DM a couple, like I think maybe a year back or so, and said, "Dude, you gotta stop posting whips." And I go, "Why?" And he sent me one word. It was like overexposure. I was like, "What am I overexposing here? Like, I just want to share what I'm doing. Like, there's no, I'm not trying to gain accolade here. I just want to show you what I'm doing."
That's horse shit.
That's a hater.
Absolute horse shit.
Overexposure. Oh, all right. Well,
Like I'm the same exact mind frame as James. Like you saw airdrop from beginning to end, right?
For sure.
Every
for sure.
point in between, every fucking step of
100%.
airdrop is documented for the most part. And
Yeah.
like James said so eloquently, if you can do it better than me, you deserve to win. I mean, it's
like,
just it's
what's
not
the
a
old thing?
cock.
Imitation's the best form of flattery.
Yeah. And it's not being cocky. It's just being like, hey, you know what? I'm putting this out there for more than just self gratification here. I'm putting this out there to help everybody. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, whatever. I don't give a shit if you see my build. Like, if you can build better than me, then you deserve to win. Plain and simple.
Yeah,
That
at the
should
end
be
of the
the
day,
mind-
you still got to do the work.
Yeah, you've got to put in the bench time. You've got to. But you know, just
Except
real
for
quick.
those freaks that just like smash something out really quick, and it's really good, and I hate those guys.
Yeah, right. But just real quick, just going back to like, you know, the article that I just put out. That's old school Hobby Japan shit. Like that, I didn't like make that or come up with that. I just redocumented it because people were asking for it, right?
That's awesome.
Like there were a few people asking for it in the Mech Army Facebook group, and I'm like, oh,
I'm pretty
shit,
sure
all
that
right.
doesn't fly in court.
What's
Just
that?
because they're asking for it doesn't mean it's okay.
No, well, hey.
I mean, they're not saying no.
But no, I mean, like, you know, I had wanted to put that out anyways, just because it's a simple solution to a common problem, right?
You're keeping old
And-
knowledge alive. That's awesome.
Well, and that's the thing. It's just like I have like a collection of Hobby Japan magazines from back in the day, like with all of this amazing information, because those guys were doing it. Those guys back then were going hard. They didn't have the luxury of Verkaz and what is it, real grades and this, that, and the third, and like articulating fingers and all that shit. No, they had like shit proportions, seams down the middle of the forearms that they had to fix, just models that didn't even have models, right? Like they had to scratch build. You know what I mean? So it's just, you know, keeping that information alive and kind of just putting it back out there into the ether, if you will. That's kind of the thing, you know. That's just old school, and you know, I think that's one of the other things about just kind of, you know, keeping that information in the life cycle of things, you know.
Hey Brian, I know you mentioned that you were a member of the RPF. Do you remember this one dude that made like these kind of almost decent-ish Iron Man armors, but kept like the materials and the methods he used also himself?
I do remember.
I can't remember his name. Was it Anthony?
I remember some shit going around about that. As I was into the Borderlands end of things, it wasn't really into the Iron Man armor end of things.
Yeah,
so,
but like it kind of pertains to that, right? Like because people were asking, how did you make this stuff? Like he wasn't really selling it per se. He wasn't monetizing it or anything. But he just didn't want to tell
right. No,
anybody
he
how
was
it
just being
made.
like hella secretive, right?
Yeah. So
yeah.
I
Keeping
think
it all
that
super tight.
it kind of pertains to that topic where, you know, you're trying to inform and be knowledgeable and stuff like that. And there are just people out there that feel that they need to feel special because of a certain technique that they have. I don't know,
Yeah.
man, honestly.
Yeah, I like.
They take pride in being able to
No, actually, I'm just thinking about this. If you guys want to go and check out the stuff that I did on the RPF, you can go find out it's BRD Creations. I think that was my old handle on there. If you want to check out my old whips, there is like an invaluable. You can learn how to make your own Malawan submachine gun out of MDF and other various products. If you'd like to go and find out, it's all illustrated there. It is all documented. So feel free, jump in rpf.com. Search me out. BRD Creations. If you can't find it, search me out under IG Bro Builder, and I'll help you find it as well. So, because like,
And
why
that's
not?
a good thing. Like a lot of the forum posts are still alive, and you can find a lot of them still. Like I've got so much information for doing what I do by trolling old forums. Like there's so much information out there that have just disappeared, but it's still there if you look hard enough.
I was gonna say before, if you look hard enough for info, like stuff you want to do, like when I first started, I was looking for information on top coding, and I found some YouTube video of this dude in a luchador mask. And he's like,
Baka used to get what
I
is
know
it? Like,
exactly
oh
who you're
my
talking
God.
about, dude.
And
The
I'm like,
Japanese dude.
Baku.
Yes.
and I'm like, this is phenomenal. Like, I need to get some of these markers. Like, I want to see what this guy's doing. This is great. And he's just making poses. And
You know, the funny thing is,
great.
it's really well made. The videos are really well made.
Really well. He
But
inspired
that
me to
was
do more.
GBWC before GBWC. It was the Baku, BAKU or UC, whatever it was. And he was like the GBWC guy.
Yeah, Bakuk or
But
whatever.
it was, Baku, like, because in Australia, but it was before, like, well before my time, but they showed old, like, photos of, like, Scott Taylor Goes to Xeon posted a bunch of, like, Baku UC stuff, and it was that luchador mask wearing, like, crazy Japanese dude that was amazing.
Yeah.
So good.
And he
God,
did the poses like Julio was saying, like
Yes, it was really hard.
those are the Ultraman poses. Like they would do the.
yeah,
100%.
Ultraman.
and they're still on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like you can find them. Just go
If
look
you
them up.
haven't seen it, go look it up. It's the greatest shit ever. I love it so much.
Funny thing was, it was actually like it. So I leave my YouTube on autoplay, and it was actually after a Child of Mecha stream. It started to play. He was introducing master grades. Like what are master grades?
Right.
It was one of those videos. Oh god, man.
Nice.
We can't all be that cool.
No.
It's so good.
Really
Can't
good.
all be Tim.
What's up?
Damn it, we'll try.
Can't all be Tim. Come on.
Hey, shut up, man.
We're
Just
all
do it.
Tim.
Just trying to
Let's
do
get
my
it.
thing. That's all.
We need a Child of Mecha luchador mask now.
Oh, fuck off.
Like maybe 2.2
Dude, give me the first one, dude. I love Shidor masks.
per streaming market.
I got a few.
Yeah, right.
2.87 Tims.
God.
That's all you can have. And Tim himself is 1.5 Tims. So you're already at a deficit.
What's happening?
That's too many Tims.
Don't mind me, I'm over here working on my model.
That's twice as many Tims as the world needs. Trust me.
Actually, it's half as many Tims as you think you might need.
I think we need more Tams in this world. Is what we need.
Oh, Tams, yeah.
Tams.
I'm pretty sure I got some in the fridge.
Tim's only
Oh
half.
man.
You're only not counting for the Tams.
Now are they standard Tim Tams or are they slams, James?
Oh my.
No, they're just the standard.
Standard fare? Okay.
Just the standard, mate.
I got you.
Well,
I got
none of
you.
that fancy, none of that fancy shit.
I
How
got
much
you.
alcohol is involved in a Tim Tam Slam?
As much as you want, dude.
Well,
Tim
everyone
Tams
does it
or
with
none
coffee,
at all,
but
right?
I'm looking for
everyone does it
tradition.
with coffee, but you can smash through booze with it pretty easy as well.
What's the alcohol to slam ratio?
Yo, can you imagine just popping a caramel, chocolate caramel Tim Tam Slam and a glass of vodka and just kicking that back?
You know what actually would be really good, mate? Like they do make like the orange flavored Tim Tams. Like they've got like an orange shit in them. Like you could mix some decent boozes through that, like a bit of Southern Comfort and like a Tim Tam would probably work quite well.
And now we're back on drinking and shit talking. Hey, welcome to Mechanism,
full
everybody.
circle. It's a full circle shit. Circle
For
of
those who
life.
don't know what a Tim Tam is, you're missing out.
Oh,
One clue what a Tim Tam is. Never
Just
had.
Google that shit. You can just Google it.
yo, Tim
It's an
Tams are
Australian
I
beautiful,
had to
man.
Google
chocolate.
it. Be realistic here.
They're like how do I describe it? It's almost like it's a nice like wafer kind of cookie wrapped in chocolate, and you can
With
get like
chocolate
other
in between as well.
yeah, and other film like you can get caramel in
Oh.
between, or like
It's a different kind of
James
shit sandwich.
Yo, it is the best kind of shit sandwich. I'm telling you
Oh,
right now.
is it like an Aussie stroopwafel?
I guess.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't think it's as chewy. I don't think it's as chewy as a stroop.
And it's not, the size is different, right? Or
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah,
I mean, they're just
it's
like
it's like about this
size.
big.
yeah.
It's a
But
crispy
they're
wafer.
completely covered in chocolate. So
Yeah.
if you bite off a corner and a corner, you can suck booze through them.
Yeah.
Gotcha. It's like a biscuit or like a.
It's
Oh,
just
that's what
their,
saying. You sip some coffee through that shit, right?
yeah, well
pretty
that's
much.
the normal what they advertise is tea and coffee, yeah.
Yeah.
But alcohol is where it's at. I would imagine. I need to try that now. Damn it.
I wouldn't know.
You can get them in the States. Like you got to look for them, but you can find them.
Oh, it's
All
sick.
right. I'm into it.
If your supermarket has like a world section, usually they have them there.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're probably right next to the Arnott shakes.
Tim, are you coming up for Mosquito Con?
Mosquito, yeah.
I'm gonna get some Tim Tam.
Word.
Order some up.
Like if you have
Preload.
like Whole Foods or like Wegmans and like bigger grocery stores and places like that, probably have
If you can
World
get
market has it
the
for sure.
if you can get the double coat ones, they're really good. It's like the standard ones, but they dunk them in chocolate twice.
Beauty.
Yo,
No, I'll look for that. Hey, thanks for the inside tip. It's online. I'm gonna order this shit online because fuck
I'm
going to a
hungry
store.
now. Damn it.
Oh, no one goes to the store. Who goes to the store? Jeez.
Hobby store. I'll go to the hobby stores.
Yeah, but that's different. That's like a porn, like going to the sex shop. You want to go there.
True. Yeah, true. That's very true. Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna go to the liquor store. How about that?
Well, that too. But that's because they know me there, and all they do is they do this, and I'm like, huh, and they give me what I want. So yeah, that's what
Nice.
Jesus.
Nice. Man, oh, man.
true. What happened today?
This just
Show
got
me
off
on the
a
teddy
tangent,
bear
didn't
where
it?
they touched you.
We
It's
were having
cool
such
because
a productive
she's always
conversation.
talking to her mom on the phone.
We got through more conversation than we like ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
So
Good.
I commend us.
Yeah.
Also,
And like,
we didn't have the usual bad influence in there. I think.
Oh.
I
gonna
didn't say
pay-
I didn't say any names. I did
You're
not
gonna
say
pay
any
for
names.
that one.
You guys pointed it out. I said
That
nothing.
Tex,
I
I
didn't
felt
say
it in my
nothing.
soul, and Tex hates you for it.
Right now, her ears are like, who's talking shit?
One,
That
two,
text-
Texas coming for you.
The text sense is coming up.
my spider sense is tingling.
Yo.
Bullshit is being said about me.
I feel it.
Too much fun. Too much fun. All right, boys. I think that's where we're gonna end it. Let's end on some social media plugs and all that good stuff, shall we? Let's start off round robin again. Let's go with Brian. Brian, where can everybody find you, man? Oh God, what the?
What?
Oh, I see what he's doing.
Psycho.
Yo, look at this.
No, I don't know what that is.
Oh shit, it's ready.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
It's ready.
Look at this. What?
Oh man, now I can't go to sleep tonight.
Hey, man.
You can build, but you can't scribe, bitch.
Shit.
Oh my God. I don't know why that's funny, but that's hilarious.
Get on the shirt now.
Oh,
So, dude,
Now I can finally hear you fools.
Oh, you missed so much.
yeah, for real. Oh. Anyway, Freddie, where
Brian's outro now.
where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me Here in New York, I am haunting the streets daily.
And in your dreams.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
totally waiting for that.
No.
The man of my dreams.
Oh my god. Oh,
Fantastic.
Oh goodness.
Jesus, that's awesome.
Shit.
Well, Brian, thanks for being on. Welcome back, buddy. Good to see you.
Always a pleasure.
Always, brother. Always. All right, let's go over. Let's go over to the this guy here, Mr. Clippin' Virus, the contagious one.
Wash your hands. Wash your ass. You know, wear a mask. Flipping nubs. Yeah. Find me on Instagram, Facebook. I'll see you guys later.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Right? Oh shit.
You don't want to get what I got. 'Cause I got
Oh,
You don't know me.
nice.
Snatching your people.
Oh man, good stuff, Julio. Thank you for being on, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's go over to Mr. Julionius, the greatest.
Right.
Where can everybody find you, bro?
Y'all can find me on Instagram, as it says right below there.
Yes.
Jonas. Follow me if you want to see random cool stuff or me build something badly. You
Yeah.
can find me on Facebook. I mostly shitpost on Facebook, so if you want to, same exact name, Julionius. I guarantee I'm the only person you'll find.
Right. What about that? What about that build meet?
Oh man, those build meets. All right, so we usually get them going on towards the end of the month. We got one planned for March. However, this is going to be on the 22nd, not the 29th.
Tight.
The 28th is Replicon, and for me to go to Replicon and then meet all you people and have a build day with you guys, I'm gonna die.
Oh wait, to Replicons then, because last year it was after.
It was after, yes,
Right. Okay. Interesting. That's good to know. Thank you, sir.
This year, Replicon's on the 28th. The build meet at Kino is going to be the 22nd. KinoKunia.com. Keep an eye on there. If not, watch me on Instagram. I'm going to post something about it. Same thing on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, I'm going to make an event for it. If you want an invite, just send me a message. Tell me to remind you if something's happening, and I will.
Is that when the display case rolls over as well?
Yep.
Yes, every month. Every 30 days, they're going to add new people to the display.
Hell
Because
yeah.
I'm busy and I want to throw my awesome shit in there to make everybody jealous.
Well, you can
And be
definitely do that.
inspired.
You can definitely do that. Like I said, every 30 days they rotate it.
Yeah.
Kinokunia down to kinokunia.com. Just keep an eye on there. They'll put it up. For you, Brian, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, keep building. Have a good time, guys.
And you don't charge for that either, do you?
Oh no, free.
Oh,
Free.
that'll be $20.
It's a freemium service.
There you go. There you go.
No, Julio's
All
the
right.
best.
Good shit, Julio. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
No problem.
All right, let's swing over to Chris Pabs.
You can find me on Instagram at Chris_Pabs. I succumb to peer pressure. Thank you, Tim, for that. Otherwise, you can find me on everywhere and any other platform. It's Chris Pabs. I might be live streaming tomorrow to continue this guy. So
There you go.
I'll let you guys know in the morning. But for now, thank you for having me. It's been fun.
You mostly stream
it's been
on
great.
Instagram, right?
Yes, Instagram. So right now, I am planning on moving to YouTube eventually, but for right now, Instagram.
Yeah, because
Alright.
I mistook you before. I thought you were going to stream on YouTube, and then I missed your stream on Instagram. So I just wanted to catch up. I wanted to let everybody know they should catch you there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. For now,
Oh, yeah.
until I get everything set up, Instagram is the easiest platform to stream on. So you guys can catch me there.
Cool. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All
Thank you for
right.
having me.
And let's go down to our boy James, Mr. Nozaku boy.
Hello.
Oh, with that beard.
That beard looking
You
fresh.
beard. You can find me on Instagram as Nozaku Boy. Cheers, man. Good Canadian band. If anyone doesn't know Comeback Kid, you should definitely give them a listen. They're good. But yes, you can find me under Nozaku Boy on YouTube, which I don't really do much on, and Instagram. But it's been a pleasure to be back. I will aim to post more. Now that I'm like building some buildings out of a lot of styrene, I'll be back into it. So that's always
Awesome.
fun. Cheapest, funnest material to work with. Get on it.
Hell yeah.
Aside from that, it has been a pleasure as always. I'll see you all soon. If you're wondering about the next Horseman stream, maybe next week. It depends. I think I've got my ice hockey finals on next week if we don't get knocked out in prelims. So if that doesn't happen, then I'm probably streaming next week.
Nice. Good stuff, man.
Chances are we lose though because we're terrible, but whatever.
Man,
That's what happens when you play ice sports in a country that doesn't really have much ice.
That's not what it's about, James. You know, I'm a hockey fan, so.
Especially in the summer. Ooh.
We just watched the
Yeah, it's
Rangers lose 5-1 to the fucking Flyers
Ouch.
tonight. So yeah, it
Yeah,
was
that sucks.
a lot.
Nice.
Yeah, but I'm a Leafs fan, so I've been watching a lot of losing.
Yeah, you know what? Fucking Van Riemsdyk is on the fucking Flyers now.
He's a good player.
How the fuck is that? You know? Fuck
Yeah,
that.
but at least your team didn't lose to their own Zamboni driver the other week.
No.
Ouch.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
You win.
Nice. All right.
But anyway, it is what it is.
James, man, thank you for being on, brother. It's good to see you again, man.
Been a pleasure.
Absolutely. All right, boys and girls, this has been episode 25 of Mechanism. I thought this went pretty damned well, so big ups to Mr. Chris Pabs for initiating us into productive conversation.
The pure one, baby.
Yeah. And hey, we're gonna be back here in about 2 weeks. I'll be back on here on Monday. I think next week, next week's just gonna be 2 days, Monday and Friday, because I'm gonna be in Rochester, New York.
I'll be back
next week.
Wednesday. I'll be back Wednesday, Tim, on my live stream Wednesday. First time in almost 2 months now. I'll be back on my live stream on Wednesday.
Yeah. There you go.
Ooh, nice.
Picking up a little bit of the slack on this live.
Yeah, fill it in.
I have been on my this thing doing the stuff, so I'll be back on a regular stream, having fun, checking in with you guys, keeping the community live, and having a good time.
There we go. You can always find somebody online, right? Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Good shit, man. All right, so boys and girls, this has been a good one. So
yeah, it has.
Man, if you didn't catch it all, man, rewind it back and catch what we were talking about, because we had some good ideas, some good flow of information, all that good stuff on here. So this was good. This was fun. So I think we might have to do this more often. So Chris, look at you, man. You had a point. Good stuff.
Pure one, baby. What up?
All right. So until next week, I will see you guys next week. I'll be in Odio tomorrow, Richmond, Virginia. So if you're going to be there, I will see you there. I'm bringing airdrop because the Blue Destiny is staying home because I didn't get the damn base done in time. So womp womp. Anyway, but hey, be safe. Build something cool. I'll see y'all next week. Bye, everybody.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.